hashtag Oaks Night In. So I was like, ooh, everyone's having IG events. So I guess, yeah, it is Derby, so that sucks. But it's okay. We have to think positively, right, y'all?
That's debatable.
That's debatable. All right. Well, what better answer would I expect from Johnny? Yeah, it is. And I'm just not gonna ask for anything better. Yeah, I guess, huh?
Be very
F you. Let me take that back.
someone would.
I'm gonna take that back too.
Why you set him up like that?
Did I set him up?
Even though it was a completely like statement, it's just typically used as.
Oh my gosh, Carmen. So
I can barely hear them. Whatever they're saying, I'm like, I can't hear them very well.
oh no. Are they talking in their mics? I mean, they are. Say hi to Carmen.
Hi, Carmen.
Okay, I heard Jonathan. Anthony.
Yeah, that was Jonathan.
Or Jonathan, right?
Anthony, say hi to Carmen.
Hello, Carmen.
It's nigga.
Oh. See, Anthony, your voice is too deep.
Nah, I'm just playing.
That's what she said. It's too deep.
Ew, what? I'm not dealing with this.
Hey, man.
You ain't got to deal with it.
Get the fuck out there.
I'm not right here.
Facts. I can't kick him out, y'all. All right, Carmen. So I know we discussed over the weekend or over the week, like, what the fuck are we gonna talk about? Because I don't want to always talk about COVID when you on the air, even though you just be having some gems and things that I do want to hear, that I kind of want my listeners to be able to hear, because you know we all about fun here, but I also if I have a resource, I want people to be able to have access to that as well. So while we will talk about that, like just touch on some things, we're gonna move into some other things, y'all. People who are tuning in, some shit I have no clue about that Carmen's gonna talk about. I'm gonna let y'all know when we get there, or you can just go look at my Instagram post, because I did say something on there. But to get our conversation kicking, I want to talk a little bit, or hear your thoughts a little bit when it comes to the possibility of the government lifting lockdowns too early. If you can share some insight with us.
Yeah, definitely. I have a lot of thoughts about that. So lots of information, and it's a lot going on. So I'm kind of with you. I think I mentioned this to you before, where I feel like I have to talk about COVID because I'm in health, and that's what's happening to everyone. But
Yeah.
then I'm like, God, I'm sick of it.
That's like literally our life right now.
Right there with you.
So what are some thoughts that you have in terms of states moving for that? I know Georgia completely opened up. I believe Texas was next. Kentucky, we're trying to move and open up in like phases. But I personally just think it's still too early. Like it's just, it is, we don't even got like nothing to like fix it yet.
To be truthful, we ain't even peak yet.
We haven't even hit that shit yet.
I know in Florida, when they went back up and down, it doubled.
Hell to the, no to the. Go ahead, Carmen.
Sure. So I think if you were to ask most people who work in healthcare or in public health their feelings about this, they would tell you that it's too premature to be opening in a widespread manner right now. So you're not just hearing Carmen's opinion, but you're hearing, you'd be hearing a similar opinion if you were talking to other people in the field, because, obviously at this point we haven't found any really, reliable treatment. So we definitely don't have a vaccine. We're a long way from that.
Yes.
But even as far as like the baseline parameters you would want to achieve in this situation before opening up. So when this started back in March, a lot of public health people, prominent public health figures, were saying that in order to safely open back up, you want to see, one, a period of time where you had, flat to no cases. So
Yeah.
14 days, you want to see no new cases, and there's nowhere in the United States where that is true. There's
Right.
no state that's flatlining. It's not even close. So that's the one. You also want to be able to test anybody who needs to be tested. And so without the testing, it's the analogy that I've used is it's like flying a plane blindfolded, which is terrible. But that's kind of where we are because without the testing numbers, we don't know, we don't have reliable information about where the virus is. And so that means we can't really contain it because we don't know where it is. So, you know, I've heard different figures about what amount of testing we ideally should be at as nationally. And I think the number I'm reading reliably, and I have this pulled up on my computer, and I don't know what happened to it. I have like 12 articles open right now.
Damn.
There's so many reports and data and facts. I don't want to make anything up. But I'm pretty sure the number that we were supposed to be aiming for is 500 to 700,000 tests a day. Because you have to think about not just being able to test anybody who looks sick, but we also need to be able to test a lot of people who aren't sick because we know people are carrying it even if they're not sick, which is one of the reasons why it's so dangerous and it's spread so far, is because people who aren't sick are carrying it. So if you think about workplaces, for example, and actually I've often used factories as an example, and then Ford Motor Company came out with their plan today that and some of the things that they said they're going to need for opening, even though they don't have a date, was things that I had been thinking about a couple weeks ago. Like for their employees, you need to be able to test everyone who comes in the factory every day for something. So you need to take temperatures or do COVID testing or something, because if one person comes in, they can infect the whole plant. And then you're going to shut down. So think about all the workplaces like that. So you need to be able to have a lot of testing all the time to be able to keep the virus isolated until we have treatments and a vaccine. And I think the number I'm hearing reliably is that we're maybe at a third of that. And it really depends on what state you're in too. So it varies dramatically. So just, I'll pause for a second, but just as far as like the minimum public health standards we would have to be in good shape right now, we are not where we need to be.
I
It's a little concerning for me.
Testing like almost every different employee in different nursing homes. I know we just had, and two of our nursing homes had a big outbreak, so it test like over 60 people at once.
Wait a minute, outbreak?
One place they found out a couple patients was carrying it, and then they didn't know because they was in there without PPE on, and then they came back positive, so now they had to test the employees and all the people in there. So we had to do like almost 60 people that one
Did
day.
you have any positive cases?
There was already a few positive cases that was there that came back that initiated the whole thing.
Well, them, but anyone extra outside of that?
And extra outside that, no.
Oh, thank goodness.
So I know at my job, they could have started swabbing us to see if we have it as carriers.
That's dope. I remember when Jonathan got their first COVID specimen or whatever the fuck it was. What was it? And he's texting us like, oh my God, y'all, I'm gonna shit my pants. I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna throw up. This is crazy. We got a case in this cup. And I was like, Jonathan, if you quit now, it'll be okay. You can just run away.
Hey, this is the best time to get fired from your job. They give you full unemployment plus a $600 bonus.
You ain't getting that shit till the end of the year, probably.
No, they get it now because even Uber and Lyft drivers is getting it.
There's people who still ain't got their stimulus checks yet. They still not gonna get that.
That's because they didn't do direct deposit. But
is that why?
If a Lyft and Uber driver are eligible to get unemployment, I should be eligible to get unemployment. And I work. I'm not knocking them for their occupation or what they do. But my job requires more than what they do.
You are social.
Yes.
You're not. Someone put a meme or someone made a Facebook post, and Carmen, you can chime in with your thoughts on this. But his Facebook post said he was pretty much fed up with everyone who's like, I'm essential, all on the timelines and feeds and shit. So he got to the point where he was like, look, y'all, like this getting a lot of pocket now. Like I'm over it. When it comes down to it, your jobs are essential, not you. If your companies wanted to, they could replace you. I was like, damn.
It is true though.
It is true. I thought on it. I was like, ooh. I was like, oh,
It's
fuck.
true though. That's why I don't say I'm essential. My job is essential.
I feel that.
But I also do have a side hustle too, so I'm waiting for the day they said to close our office down. Because I know we was doing a budget the other day, talking about it's gonna be getting to the point where they're gonna start telling people not to come in because they won't be able to afford them. It's getting to that nitty gritty now.
Yeah, our school, we've been talking about furloughs.
Your video crotch, your video my crotch.
Anyway. So, Carmen, I think that, go on, sorry, girl.
I was going to say about that whole conversation about, so the people who are essential workers in this time, I think this has been a really interesting opportunity to have a conversation about employment standards in the United States and inequality. And it's been interesting to have this conversation, hearing policymakers talking about and business leaders, who suddenly have to fill all of these positions with, everywhere from grocery workers to nurses, and ensuring that they have the protections and giving them hazard pay and even just raising their pay in general to keep people in those jobs.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. I hope some serious policy change comes after it because, one, and our wage is too low anyway. And thinking about especially people in tipped occupations, which I personally feel is nonsensical. So anyone who's read up on the history of why we have tipped positions, basically it's because of racism, because those jobs were held by black people at the time that you had minimum wage laws passed. A lot of Southern lawmakers wanted to have certain positions exempt from them because a lot of black people worked in them. So that's the only reason we even have tipping. But even aside from those jobs, just other minimum wage jobs, we should at least be at $15 an hour. Really, given the cost of living, we should be talking about $20 an hour.
I feel that.
And so, thinking about how, paying compensation and also benefits.
Yes.
A lot of these jobs don't have health insurance tied to them. And then a lot of people have lost jobs, too, that have health insurance as well. So it's been a double whammy. But thinking about essential workers who we want them to be healthy, but they don't even have paid sick leave, or they didn't before this started.
Right.
They don't have health insurance. And so I hope that this will spark a continuous dialogue about how we really need to have some reform on a lot of labor laws and protections and compensation for people in these types of jobs.
Pretty much. I didn't. Why is my phone on? I didn't realize. So first, what I'm trying to say is, like, I feel like these are all about to be beginning factors into what's going to be our new norm. A lot of my friends really feel and believe, and I appreciate them for their positive thoughts, but unfortunately, they feel that things are just going to go back to normal, which was what the normal was for us before the virus spread and hit America, or I guess just the world in general.
I don't.
I do not either. So
I was gonna say, people are gonna remember this and like.
But
this is a whole ass pandemic.
until I for sure get a cure, if I do go to the club, it's gonna be like, back up. What's that? There's a sniffle. Bitch, I'm gonna touch you.
People are scarred. So Carmen,
Yeah, it's gonna be till like people have no memory of this till it gets like.
It's not gonna
something like that.
disappear.
It's
I'm
not.
not.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even now, I still fuck around, but I'm like very skeptical on who I fuck with.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about like after like we die type shit.
when we
Like,
move on.
That's when it's gonna clear up.
So Carmen, I'm when I say the normal, it just basically what life was for us before this. So in terms of like our social settings, when it comes to hygiene, when it comes to cleanliness, publicly and personally, with your jobs and things of that nature. So that's what I mean when I mean like normal, what normal was before now. And I think, and we have a lot of friends who think it's gonna go right back to that.
Carmen, I got a question to ask you personally.
Oh God.
Can you hear me?
I'm not.
Carmen, can you hear me?
I'm not ready.
Did somebody ask me a question?
Yeah. Oh, Jonathan
Anthony and
has a question.
I'm sorry.
for you.
Y'all got to shout or something. Or Amira has to repeat it.
Do you think it's funny that people choose nouns and get worried about washing their hands? Why are they so? They just choose nouns that really care about washing their hands. Like all of a sudden, it's important to wash your hands. It's been important to wash your hands even before this outbreak came out.
I remember sleeping those when we was kids.
Yes. How do you feel about this, Carmen?
Carmen, did you hear him?
No, you have to repeat him because he's just not talking loud enough or I have bad hearing. But I can hear you, Amira, if you want to repeat what he said.
So basically, Jonathan was like, let me turn your mic up too. That might help. Okay, I turned his mic up, so that might help. So basically, Jonathan was like, what do you think, or what are your feelings on people who are kind of just now finding the importance of washing their hands and washing their ass?
You know, I mean, I don't think I knew until this happened how uncommon that was actually. So that was one of those.
Yo! I think I was in a medical field too long because I knew the importance of washing hands. Because every time I don't wash my hands, I just feel the bacteria grow.
I know people that was like, just never did anything. You know, people.
I got people that just go pee and then come
I've seen
down.
people sit on the toilet and not.
No, how you put a shit and not wash your hands? I don't care if your hands come out clean. No, you still have feces particles all over your hands and all that. Even if you can't see it, it's still there.
It's in the bathroom air on top of that.
Yes, that's like even though I do take my phone inside there, I do wipe it off.
Yeah,
At home, when I'm at home, I wipe it off because it's still there. Because you flush the toilet, and the toilet's all around. That's why. That's why even when I brush my teeth at home, I kind of like keep them guards there.
So maybe this is a positive. This is going to be a positive element to our new norm. People just being a little bit more clean.
I'm waiting for the day toilet paper becomes a new currency.
I just don't understand why toilet paper. Carmen, I'm stressed. I don't understand how and why toilet paper just became. I said I don't understand how and why toilet paper became this whole first thing to go during a pandemic. Yeah, I'm just kind of like, I think that's the least of like concerns if you were to stay in your house. Like,
yeah, because COVID-19 is airborne, not ashborne.
Ashborne. No, I think they just was trying to lock themselves away in quarantine.
The concern is I have to use the bathroom, so.
Use a rag.
Yeah, I haven't been able to figure that one out myself,
Nobody's thinking that.
except for, I guess people were just panicking.
So they go for
And
whatever.
thinking about what
for
they would
emergency
need, what's
material.
important if you're stuck in your house, because I honestly, not sure about that one. That one still mystifies me.
I even got scared. Like I was like, oh my God, there's no toilet paper. I just needed toilet paper in general by the time this shit happened. So when there was nothing on the shelves, I was like, fuck.
Baby wipes.
I was able to get some baby wipes.
Hey, look.
No.
If it comes down to it, you can buy boxes of baby wipes for like $5. That's like almost 3,000 wipes right there.
If it comes down to it, you can, and a lot of people gonna think it's nasty, but you can just use your
I don't
rags.
trust my laundry detergent to kill that.
You can bleach shit. You
Definitely
can
have
bleach
bleach.
it.
Yes. Bleach,
Yes, you can clean that rag.
Yes, you can. They got bleach for colors. They got bleach
Yes.
for whites. I just don't feel like the bleach for colors is as strong as the white one is.
I got this chlorine-free, bleach-free Lysol killer. So it's like basically bleach, but without it being bleach.
Killer.
You about to kill it?
I'm about to kill my roll of toilet paper when I get home. So Carmen, nothing. I don't know.
Like just in one sitting.
I don't know what they're talking about.
I'm gonna smack fire out your forehead.
Did you hear this, Carmen? Do you hear this?
I'm gonna smack the color out of you like Scott Pilgrim Vines.
It's
movie
okay.
scene.
It's okay. That's good. That's
You
good.
seen that movie, didn't
That you can't hear anything.
I smack the blue out of her head. I'm gonna smack the pink out of her head.
It is now weird blonde, so fuck you.
I see pink.
So, Carmen.
Well, you can get the rest
It
out.
looked like a strawberry
Yes, I'm
shortcake.
So, remember the video that I sent you?
Ooh, video.
Yes.
Video.
I believe Carmen don't swing that way.
But you sent the videos.
I mean, Carmen could be your producer. She edited videos, get it ready for your my OnlyFans page. Cause remember, Beyonce just talked about my OnlyFans page and it's savage. Okay, ratchet, bougie, sassy.
Carmen, before I get to my point, I do have to make a comment really quick. You heard the Savage remix, correct?
Of course I did.
Yes, I'm gonna say if you didn't, you're gonna be forced to on the
Black
radio.
woman if you didn't listen to it?
That's how I feel. It's gonna be bumping everywhere. First of all, shout out to them H-Town hotties. The mayor is going to make a day for them. That's dope. Both of them.
I love it.
Yes.
So is this day
Second.
gonna be women not in quarantine? Cause in September I'm going back to Houston.
So, anyways, second, all the proceeds are going to Bread of Life. So everyone just get the shit. Like it's so dope.
Birthday's the same day.
Third thing. I just wanna say, for all y'all who talk shit about sex workers,
I love sex workers.
this wasn't to you. I'm talking in a mic to the world.
I'm sorry, world.
You look convicted for a second.
But you look at them eyes. Like they look at Jack Daniels.
I just want to say for all y'all who talk shit about sex workers and who now like OnlyFans, fuck y'all. Not you, Beyonce, but girl, I know you was talking shit.
Beyonce, I would be your surrogate.
I think we all would.
You can get me pregnant, Beyonce.
You know she has her hair for her wigs, like people grow that shit for her and probably make
It's a whole team of bitches.
the biggest salaries ever.
I will get fat just for her.
I wish you wanted natural hair wigs because I'll sign up real quick.
She might already
Naturalistic
This is
style.
the one time I wish I was a woman just so I could grow hair for Beyonce.
Shit, Beyonce, if you want some real locks one day, I'll chop these shits off in a heartbeat. They just locked up too, so.
Hey, you need these? You want these? Right now?
You want these on my head? All right, Carmen, I'm so sorry. I just had to put that out there because I noticed that once you mentioned OnlyFans, I was like, oh, okay, it's a thing now. Like, y'all about that life. So anyways,
So what you about to say?
what I was about to say was, okay, so the video that I sent Carmen basically was this guy who was commenting on, where he had some opinions and remarks about the government opening up Georgia from lockdown. And a few of his points were like, why are you doing this in a staggered way? And why are you doing this for businesses where Black people congregate in those areas the most? So his point of view.
He's trying to say we're like testing.
Like collecting data.
For some reason,
Yeah, so I sent the video for Carmen to see. So I wanted to hear Carmen's thoughts on that also. Take it away, Carmen.
Right. So thank you for sending that to me yesterday because
No problem.
I thought it was really interesting.
Right.
And hearing him talk about this situation, and it's even before I had watched it, I had been thinking about the implications of what we're going through and how we've seen it manifest unequally between Black Americans and non-white Americans versus white Americans. And I've been actually thinking to myself about how the effects of this are going to be very similar to Tuskegee, and that you have a whole generation of people who are going to grow up with a very strong mistrust of medical systems, which we already, I think for marginalized people, it's already there, so it's not new. But when you think about pivotal events that have happened historically that have kind of, recycled, or I don't want to say recycled may not be the best word, but renewed, that's the word I'm looking for. Kind of renewed this distrust of systems. There are key events, and in health, Tuskegee is definitely one of them. I can't remember if I've brought this up on the show before, although I might have, but we know now, studying the effects of Tuskegee, that just knowing about the experiment has a negative effect on life years.
Yes.
For African Americans, because of those people are less likely to be interacting with the healthcare system. And so seeing this manifest, I've been thinking to myself, this is definitely going to be another one of those events. And then the gentleman in the video even compared it to Tuskegee, and I said, yes, that's where we are. And I do want to say, before I start talking about Georgia policy more specifically, because I do have thoughts on that, I think that the feelings that we're having are just very valid. They are valid. And even I, as a health person, I'm still a Black person first, a Black woman. And so I was actually talking to Jelani on the phone the other day, and he sends his regards. We'll get him on the show again.
Oh, don't worry. I pardoned him earlier.
He's been dealing with the loss. And when we were talking, I realized I haven't talked to him in a while because he's had a lot going on. And when we were talking, I realized that his family, he is from Georgia. So, and he had some family stuff going on there, but we were talking a lot about Georgia. And we had said to ourselves, you know, watching everything that's going on in the policy, it's just very hard, even for us, not to feel like they're doing this stuff on purpose for some reason. Because that's just how it feels, and you know, these things keep happening, and we know historically a lot of policies were done to us on purpose. So it's completely valid to look at these events and say, this looks like an intentional attack on Black people. Now, as far as Georgia specifically is concerned, you know, I'm not Brian Kemp. I don't know that man. I'm not on his policy team, and I'm not a policy maker in Georgia. So I can't say anything definitively about what the mindset was when they decided to do this. But what I strongly believe, based on the data that I looked into yesterday about the businesses in particular that were restarted in the timeline, and when I was looking at the data on small businesses and employment and where those sectors rank, and the personal care services industry, which would include the barber shops, the beauty shops, tattoo parlors, would probably fall under that. I was looking at that, and I was thinking, you know, and it dawned on me actually that that's probably the largest sector of employment that was completely shut down by COVID. And so there's a lot of people on unemployment who fall under that sector. And what we do know about the policy agenda under a lot of Republican governed states is definitely that of an anti-welfare mentality. And there have been policymakers who have actually said throughout this process in particular that they want to get people off of unemployment and public welfare because of COVID, like as soon as possible. So when I was looking at the data on Georgia's businesses and what the top employment sectors are, accommodation and food services was number one, and that's where all of your restaurants are going to live in hospitality. But we know that industry wasn't shut down completely, even though a lot of people have been laid off work, but a lot of those businesses are still open. But those were open, you know, those were on the timeline, like right after the barber shops and beauty shops. So for all practical purposes, it was right the same. So that's the largest one. And then after that, you have professional services, and that's going to be a lot of like accounting, legal, all of those types of businesses, which a lot of those aren't closed. They're just doing work remotely, so their people aren't necessarily unemployed. And there were a couple of other sectors, and I had this bookmark. There you go. I'm not going to tell you wrong information as, you know, to the extent possible.
Thank you.
Oh, that's not even the right one. So that's supposed to be person knowing things, so I don't want to make up stuff.
Fake news.
I mean, sure it is. So yeah. Oh, healthcare was also on there as well. So healthcare and social assistance. Again, a lot of those places are still open. And then retail was up there as well, which retail sector has also been hit by this. But a lot of those industries also are closed. They just might be closed indoors, but they're still online. They're still operating. But the personal care service industry was completely shut down by this because you can't have, you know, massage parlors and nail shops and all those places open when you're having a virus. So you had a significant number of employees who just immediately went on unemployment. And I think the rationale there is that, allowing those businesses to be open, one, those business owners aren't, going to be the people who generally have a lot of cash reserves, so they probably will rush to open back up, and that's anecdotally what we've been seeing is that even a lot of people who didn't want to open their shops have because they just can't afford not to because they can't get unemployment anymore.
Yeah.
And it's, a pretty high demand service area as well. So unfortunately, I think there was some economic, scheming going on here that figured is there an industry that we can get it up running very quickly and get people off of unemployment and maybe get, the economy back going. That is what I'm, based on the policy agenda of and that state and other states like it, I think that's probably a lot of the thought that went into it. Do they feel that much more strongly about it because a lot of those employees are Black people and they're not worried about our health? Probably so. I mean, another shitty thing too about being the person who's always trying to kind of dispel conspiracy thoughts. It's, for me, it's been a lot of times I'm saying, maybe this wasn't intentional, but worst, the best case scenario in these situations often is that the health and welfare of Black people is just not even considered important by a lot of policymakers, and a lot of shitty things happen to us as a result of policy because of it, which isn't that much better of an answer than
No.
an alternative where you imagine people want to experiment on it. I'm like, I don't know how much better that alternative is. But I do think knowing the agenda of policymakers who are running a lot of things at the state and federal level, not supporting people through public assistance is probably at the top of mind for a lot of folks.
That makes
and
sense.
That's unfortunate.
That makes total sense. Of course, I want them to be back in business. It just sucks that, as you said, most of those business owners and most of those areas and the sectors that you listed and stated are, a part of us, minority cultures. So it's just, I just prefer Chinese food. Oh my gosh.
I think it's funny.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, go on.
Go ahead. And then I have, okay, what I was earlier about life going back to normal, like you were telling me your friends think, which I'm seeing a lot of that too. Did you see my post on social media about the
No. What did it say? Let me find it.
IG and Facebook? I had said Louisvillians are I miss having derby this week. We can't wait to party in September. And then I said health community, and then I have if you remember that picture of that rapper Conceited, he's the Black dude that's holding the cup that's pursed his lips.
I love Conceited.
You know what I'm
I
talking
did
about?
see that. I did see that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. I remember Conceited. I just don't remember what the caption was. And my internet is.
Well, it was going around as a meme kind of for a long time. I think a couple of years ago now, although it's still one of my favorites, where he's just shaking his head, walking.
Right. What did you post it for? What did you?
Because, somebody just lost their rest. Huh?
What did you post it for? What were you commenting on? I'm trying to pull it up.
Basically, I have a lot of people in my circle who are talking about Derby not happening this week, but how they were looking forward to it happening in September.
Oh.
But the health community is just probably that's not going to happen. So yeah, it's what you're saying about things not getting back to normal. Mass gatherings for sure. Even with the irresponsibility and recklessness of government decisions that have come out in the past couple of months, I'm pretty confident that we won't see mass gatherings probably through 2020. And so I know that there are a lot of major events that have already been canceled, like Oktoberfest. I know entertainers like Taylor Swift have said they're not having concerts this year.
Yeah.
And I can't, regardless of what the government says, I've been saying to people, any mass gathering is a potential to restart an outbreak at least in that city, if not in a bunch of other places. So if you think about Derby and how many people travel to Derby from outside of Kentucky, you could start another nationwide outbreak just from Derby, because it's over 1 million people. If you think about all the events that usually take place during that time, Thunder alone usually has 600 to 800,000 people. So it's those types of things are so high risk. I know I read another article today about the sports community and how challenging of a decision it's been for them to try to figure out if they're even going to open this fall and have sports. Because even if you have sports without fans, which would definitely be the case if they did have a season, but you still have, hundreds of athletes and staff and people who are still on the outside living their lives. So they're talking about, do we have everyone under quarantine? Because all you need is one person to affect the whole league, which is what we were seeing with the NBA, actually, which is why they shut down so quickly, because they had a couple of players who got diagnosed with COVID. And I think it was Donovan Mitchell, and what was that clown's name who licked the microphone? You know what I'm talking about?
Ew,
who was, had an attitude. Gobert. It was Tony Gobert. Yeah, I don't watch NBA, but I remember that.
Ew.
Man, they shut down.
Right. That's what he did.
Because you do have that risk, and if you're the person who has your event and then a bunch of people get sick and die, you're
responsible for that.
Ain't nobody ready for that type of
That's a financial problem, not to mention a moral one. And so, I don't see mass gatherings, I don't see amusement parks or anything being open. And then we're going to have to keep social distancing until we know we can get some treatments and vaccines for this, because I don't think a lot of people understand how severe this is, because all the research is new, but beyond, the reports that have been coming out about the other things that people have experienced who did not die but just got very sick have been, have ranged from, strokes to seizures, neurological damage, amputation, lung failure, kidney failure. And this is across age groups. This is not just older people who are at risk. So I know earlier on, when this started, we were talking about protecting older people, but we're seeing people across the age spectrum get very sick and pass away from this. And just the transmission, it's so easily transmitted. The last thing I'll say before I take a break, it's not just touching and breathe and being close to people. So there was a study that came out very recently that was saying that they think that there was a outbreak caused in a restaurant in China just from the air circulation. So these people had not been sitting next to each other, but someone with coronavirus, like the air circulation had gotten it to other people.
In China over that?
Major implications for everything we do as a society going forward, and how easily this could spread to others. So I'll pause there and let you talk. But there's a lot that we're still learning about this that makes me feel like we're going to be living very differently for the foreseeable future.
I'm glad you put those pointers out there, because I definitely feel the same. It just is what it is. We're gonna have to adapt to a new way of living in order to keep ourselves safe and not dying off and getting sick from this virus. I'm shocked over in China about that, because they are not afraid to throw a face mask on.
They never were.
No, they weren't shit regardless.
Every day.
That is crazy. Yeah.
And they fashionable too with it too.
They so fashionable. They just fashionable in general.
Have you seen those?
They're not playing with us. So,
We're not about to play cookout.
all right. I can't believe.
It's not butter?
No, I'm prepared for this. I expect this, and what'd you say?
What?
I'm not. Who was ever prepared for this? But as this is going on, I'm understanding and knowing what is needed of me as a citizen to make sure that we're keeping this shit in check. So we should probably scoot back a little bit more, because we are probably 4 feet from each other. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, she's kind of not wrong.
So for all those protesters out there, go sit. And Carmen, I noticed that too. I noticed that it was pointed out on a Facebook post.
Which one?
The protesters who are out here, they're not even the ones protesting I need to open my business and pay bills. They're the ones who are like, I need a haircut.
When they don't even know if they barber's done.
I deserve to get my nails done. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
What if your nail person don't want to do your nails?
Well, I'm like, where are you going? Nothing's open. Like, I'm not going to work. I'm not going to parties.
Exactly.
I don't have business.
And then right.
I mean, I don't like the way I'm looking these days either. I went to take a selfie earlier.
But you better
today
learn like
with
the
my
rest of
derby
us.
hat on. I was like,
Google.
Oh my God, I look rough. Like, I couldn't even take the picture. But I'm not going anywhere.
I'm just like, this is not why you should be protesting. Someone had a poster that said, my body, my choice, Trump 2020. I was like, I don't think that applies here, ma'am. And then they got face masks on. Do you believe in this virus or don't you? Because you're looking a little confused.
Well, I mean.
And then when you mentioned big gatherings,
Yeah.
it actually made me think of, I don't know how much this video was circulating, but there's this big fat ass party that happened in Chicago a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, Carmen, I'm talking, it was, if you haven't seen the video, it was packed, like elbow to elbow, face to face.
Shout out to Brady.
My friends is like, it looked like it smelled like lace front weaves in there, cigars and Hennessy.
There you go, yeah, you got it.
And Carmen, what really killed me was some people actually had masks on, and I'm just kind of like, no,
You missed.
you failed.
That's one of them, like,
At
in
this
a
point,
situation-
that's pointless. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago hit us up with a large spike in cases after that big ass party.
Well, unfortunately, I think you're right, and that was going to be my next point as far as what I also predict happening this year. So we know that, we're opening prematurely. I say we know,
Yeah.
the health community knows all of this is happening very prematurely. So I'm very confident that unfortunately we are going to have another spike in many places, and I think there'll be a spike, I think there'll be a number of deaths, and then I think that's going to cause us to maybe have another version of the lockdown we're in.
Yeah.
And I want to say that, well, it won't, because that's really an awful thing to have, for us to have to just kind of live with as a health community, especially because I feel like most of this could have been prevented on the front end months ago before we got to this point. But
Right.
a lot of the spikes that we experienced this time originally came from some sort of mass gathering. I know in Georgia, a lot of them came from funerals. In Louisiana, Mardi Gras was a source of widespread transmission of COVID that led to a lot of deaths. And so, and then other more, not necessarily one-time gatherings, but like prisons and nursing homes and long-term care facilities. So anywhere where people were gathered together, those have become hotspots. So yes, I'm afraid that once the valves get released, people are going to kind of rush back out and reignite some spikes and some deaths, unfortunately.
Oh, I know they are.
I just want to go ahead and say too, because I wanted to make sure I said this before I got off the call, but for anyone who's listening, like, I'm not, for work, you have to do what you have to do, but I personally, like, I'm not going to be here, at least for the next 6 months, even though I want to get back out there and I want to get back to my life, knowing what's coming. I just don't want to take that personal risk for me and for my family members, some of whom do have health conditions, and especially, for Black people, I'm very worried. So, I'm not going to judge anyone because I know this is really hard, but I would just encourage people to really minimize being out as much as possible because we're still in the danger zone.
You don't have to judge, girl. I'll judge for you. Stay your ass home. You better go make some purchases. It is not that hard to sit your ass on the couch every night. Stay your ass home. Everyone's going for walks.
Use your own toilet.
Right. Shit. Though, you know what? I've been making it work. Anthony and I went on a date on IG Live. Shout out to Beats, Rhythm and Beats. We was in the club in my house. At least in the club you can smoke.
No, you can't. Not, you can't go to the club.
Club your house you can.
Because I smoked in the club, got in trouble.
Club your not all your houses, not all your houses, but
This is true as well, but
it don't matter. Stay your ass home. If you need a change of scenery when watching Netflix, move from the chair to the other couch.
You get you a mobile phone, laptop, or something.
Make it work. Our people before us have been through motherfucking worse. You can sit on the couch. You can go shop in bulk, quit lollygagging in the damn store, get what you need and get the hell out.
You can play 2K for hours. Like,
Right. Pick up a new damn hobby. All you protesters talking about some, I need a haircut.
Nah,
Practice
bro.
cutting your own damn
and
hair.
start sewing something.
Right.
Niggas knitting out here now.
There we go, Carmen. We got you. You ain't got to judge. We'll judge for you. Well, Carmen, we didn't get to the other topic I wanted to talk about, but that's okay because I actually want more time to be able to talk about it. So y'all, it probably will happen before. I'm probably going to request this happen before the monthly checkup, Carmen. But if that's okay with you, but Carmen is going to. Carmen has opened up like a topic with me called pelvic floor therapy. This is a complete shift from COVID. But I was like, what the hell is that? So I told her not to tell me anything until we talk about it on the air so we can all learn. Because I'm pretty sure a ton of y'all don't know what that shit is.
I was about to say, do that shit eventually, right?
So Carmen, while I'm sad about that, I'm not, because that just means that we're gonna have another show with you to discuss that. But as usual, I really appreciate and thank you for coming on to the show with your special episode, the monthly checkup Get Prepped. You always are shining so many gems on us, and you are one of my biggest resources, and I learn so much every time that we talk. Can you tell my listeners where they can find you? Plug yourself.
Yes, plugging myself. I'm now back on Twitter. Had to take a break at first because there was a lot of gloom and doom, but now I'm back talking about, healthcare, talking a little bit more about criminal justice and some other things too, by the way. If you ever want to talk about criminal justice stuff, let me know, Amira. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Carmen R. Mitchell or on Instagram at Carmen on Point. Please
go follow her. You will get all the memes, healthcare. I'm just kidding, but she's been posting them a lot lately. Well, not a lot, but some very good ones that we need to see. So please go follow her. Again, Carmen, thank you so very much. We'll go ahead and let you off the phone as soon as we tune into Twerk Time, y'all. We got Twerk Time by DJ Samosa. So whatever y'all do, like I said, if y'all gonna go out to your living room, go to happy hour in the kitchen.
And bust the wide open on your man while you're there. Walk in on him naked.
Your man or your chair. You gotta be inclusive. Some people don't have a man.
I mean.
Or your woman, if you want to switch it up.
Men, women, pen, A, die, buy, side, pie.
Just every.
Okay. I feel like he made up some shit, but yeah, that's inclusive. So yeah, we're gonna let y'all go. Enjoy Twerk Time, and we'll be back with you in about 15 minutes. Okay, bye. Oh, I didn't start it yet. Okay, there we go.
DJ Samosa.
Carmen, hang up and call me on my phone.
Okay, will do.
Okay. Ah! Well, that's dumb. I probably should just. I need to turn our volume down.
Shanti's on the way.
Oh, Shanti's coming? I thought Shanti had to work.
No, she's not today.
I thought she was off on Saturday. That's what the text said. Yes, we got our bitch coming to the spot. Turn up. Yeah, that's what I meant. Our bitch.
You said Carmen.
No, I said we got our bitch coming to the spot. That's a sports bra. You can't twerk no titties in a sports bra.
Hey, bro.
Are you mad?
Yes. Are you wrestle foul?
Oh my God.
This way, bro.
Drink the rest of my shot.
Nah, bro, check balls. I'm going this way. Put the shot down.
We gotta fill this cup back up.
Get another one.
Anthony's gonna fill my cup back up.
Yeah.
Our heads.
You're a show. Twerk Time. What?
No, I was laughing.
Drop the beat. Twerk time. Gonna go to break time. Yeah.
thought you dropped it in the mic.
About to do the twerk.
Is it?
Ew, that's gross. I'm not saying that shit.
You're disgusting.
What was I about to say?
You're gross.
What you know about to say?
I know what you're about to say.
What? Exactly.
Get the work.
Nah, I wasn't.
Get the slurp. Get the.
I didn't even think of that one.
Johnny, now I'm gonna turn your ass down. There we go. Okay. I only. Stop. Do not do that in the mic. I be getting on Danny. It's all love. What the hell? Oh shit, we are back. We is back. What the hell? I have another drop. I need to quit playing these.
You better drop it.
This is one of my favorite. This is my favorite drop.
But I know. But you gotta have another drop.
I have several drops. I just use this.
Did you drop them?
I have 3 for Power 106, and I have 3 for me.
Well, but you don't have like one for like me and Jonathan though, do you?
We can make a drop. Just no, we can make a drop.
I needed to already be
Okay,
done
let's do it.
before today.
All right. We not doing it now.
It's due by Sunday at midnight. Blackmore.
Here's what
Let's
I'm
give
gonna,
her a week.
here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send y'all scripts or a topic of what I need the script to say,
I'm gonna say that.
and then y'all need to send me voice recordings of it and send it back to me, and I can make a drop. How about that?
Okay.
I don't know. That sounds like work. He be like, how you gonna
It's not even work. You do it.
I'm making for the squadron. Give us
I'm
all
trying to be
some
extra.
Yeah, I am gonna give it to you all.
Amir, I'm trying to be extra.
Just Anthony's being drama.
That
I
sounds like
don't want to be dropped.
Amir. That sounds like physical labor.
I hate to tell you this, Jonathan, but Anthony be having you beat a lot of times these
That's
days.
if Johnny was tamed because y'all don't want me to go wild out no more like I used to.
No, remember I said I embrace y'all's ratchetness as I embrace mine now. So, but just
Oh, so they was like a wild out.
you been wilding out. Don't act like you
Yeah,
stopped.
because I've been on my best behavior this whole night.
He said in your perspective. he
Well,
was-
I don't feel like you had a reason to wild out tonight, unless you had to go in. Which, if you did,
you need to go out.
of course you could
I
have.
got some shit to talk about.
What's wrong, Johnny? You got 15 whole minutes.
Hey,
Let's
this
talk,
is
nigga.
Johnny's number, right?
This is Johnny.
So I
So
had a whole ass
this is called the Johnny
segment.
segment.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna come up with a better name.
Let's go. This is
We're gonna talk
the.
about how these no good ass little dick ass niggas, the roller you asking you for money, this could have got your coronavirus check.
We did hear about
no,
this earlier.
nigga, you not getting none of this money. I work to feed myself and my family. I don't work to feed your bum ass.
Tell them.
Your bum ass is good for only one thing. You barely did good at that.
No, just say no.
If you a no shit little dick ass motherfucker, do not hit up Jonathan for no money, cause he'll flame your ass live on the broadcast.
No, I had an ex that asked me what's up. I said, don't you have a boyfriend to talk to?
Ooh.
He said no. I said, damn, I'm stuck with everybody's leftovers. He said, I'm nobody's leftovers. I said, but baby, you're not the main course.
Tell them it's that quarantine shit. People. So here are the quarantine. The coronavirus.
It's real.
The here's what it is. Everyone got so bored that they slide into all the DMs they can.
I mean,
They
I
hitting
hitting
up,
DMs too.
but he hitting up. He taking chances, hitting up exes for $500.
He barely.
Don't come to me. You come to me, and we got bad blood, baby. I'm hurting all your feelings. I'm coming for your mama, your daddy, your mom-headed granny, your sister that's paraplegic.
The thing about it is, he didn't know she was bald-headed, but she actually is.
She is bald-headed. She wear Party City wigs.
So anyways, look, if you don't ask people for money, at least be reasonable with the amount, motherfucker. Like we all out here like in a struggle.
I think he thought he was.
Don't ask for $500. Ask for like $20. Like,
I mean,
are you
20
humble?
That's not bad. It's like gas money, a little
Right.
food.
Don't ask for no money for a whole ass bill.
$20, you go to Save a Lot.
And we not even sucking dicks. Like, don't ask for shit. Hell no, Jonathan. I'm so sorry for your traumatizing moment. And that was the Johnny segment. I need a better name for that. Let's call it Johnny Goes In. No, let's call it
My Gay's Anatomy.
Before this motherfucker goes on another tangent, I just want to take the time and moment to say and shout out Carmen Make sure y'all go follow her. If you don't remember what her Instagram handle is, it is Carmen on Point. And you can find her Carmen Mitchell on Facebook. And I guess Twitter was kind of this. I don't remember the Twitter. I'm so sorry. But you can just rewind this episode back once it
Twitter has the
airs.
best porn.
Twitter does have the best porn. I know that through
Personal.
you. No, through you. Yeah, I'm never on Twitter. So I only hear about it through y'all.
I'm only on Twitter just for the porn.
But I might have to get on Twitter, y'all, because Pornhub is gotten boring.
I use Vidster.
What's it called?
Vidster.
Text that to me right now.
About some new shit, yeah.
You gotta illegally download it and all that.
I don't want to do all that shit. I ain't doing all that for some porn.
Maybe you gotta get like a Netflix, Hulu, like, you know, rotation type shit.
So I'll send you the link to download it.
But
But you got backdoor download.
But you said it's no, I don't want to do all that.
Yeah, you can go to the website.
Yeah, I just want to type in a website.
Then you can go to the website and it'll tell you how to download it.
Oh
Or you
my
want to
gosh.
download it on your phone, you got backdoor download it. Because they don't have an app.
I don't need no app. I watch porn on my computer. No, that's a lie. And my phone too. But I don't want no app on my
And the
phone.
game system.
No, I don't.
Really?
That is
I'm about to say, I wouldn't do
strictly
that
not
shit
for
like
porn.
game system, right?
I mean, I didn't watch them. I would have died.
I mean, luckily-
on the game system.
Well, luckily I don't have any children or anything like that, so it's not like they about to roll up on some
Well, I
bullshit.
put some things in the oven.
What? Did you just ask me when I'm gonna have children?
Yes.
What the fuck is wrong with him, y'all?
Hey, remember
I
you
am
said-
young and
remember
a
you
working
said-
woman.
you said about why
I mean, you are a working woman, but
Oh my
the oven
gosh.
also.
You said what?
You can be working and the oven be working too.
I do not want children. So when are the beans gonna be put in that? First of all, you don't even put beans in the oven for real. Like you put them bastards on the stove.
You can't put things in the oven.
The children.
That's baked beans, right?
What the fuck ever.
No, you can have those things.
Let me get look. Nothing's going in the oven. How about that?
What about like a pizza roll or something?
No. Oh my God. If you're tuning into the Amira Show, thank you so much for tuning in. But I also need to make this known before you take this and run with it. Amira's not putting no beans in the oven, bread in the oven, brownies in the oven, bitches in the oven. Nothing's going in the oven. If a bitch can fit in the oven, she's not going in
I'm
there.
about to say, that's crazy.
No one's going in. Nothing and no one is going in the oven.
What if something?
Sake. No. This is 2020. Ain't no accidents happening. I believe in free body shit. All I'm trying to do is twerk, and you can't twerk with no pregnant belly.
Yes, you can.
I cannot. Look. It's been scientifically proven that I cannot twerk with a belly. So
I twerk with a belly.
no, a pregnant belly, bitch.
You can twerk with a pregnant belly.
I just said I cannot. Amira Bryant cannot twerk with a pregnant belly.
Have you tried it yet?
I don't want to try it.
You should
No,
try
here's
it.
what you do.
From Amira's before me, they have passed me the information and research. So I'm just living by them.
I was just gonna get you a fake ass actor belly and try that shit.
I don't want to pretend to be pregnant.
No, get another infection bodysuit.
Just get a bodysuit.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. My girlfriends in college used to pretend like they would lie to their significant others or people they're interested in and be like, I'm pregnant. And I'll literally be like, I'm gonna throw up. Because the thought of pregnancy, I mean, yeah, that was fucked up, but it was really just the thought of pretending to be.
some type of way.
I don't judge them.
But it just happens, right?
But maybe with pregnancy, I did. Cause I just, no. It's 2020, y'all. Ain't no accidental pregnancies. I mean, there is, but not really. I'm sorry. That's one thing I stand by. Don't ask me that fucking question again. What the hell is wrong with you?
There's a lot wrong with me. Do we have time to talk about it?
We don't have time.
I mean, we can go the full tutorial about
we don't need that. We don't need that.
I mean, which person you want to talk to? You want to talk to Jonathan, Shanae, Cataleo, Derek? Derek's evil.
You don't have a Johnny?
This is Johnny. But you talk about
Who's Jonathan?
Jonathan is the patient one.
Jonathan put together. Johnny is not. But he's put together enough.
To fake it.
Anthony, do you have any moving on. Do you have any
personalities?
Any other personalities? You can't claim third shift Spider-Man because I think you've been slacking on the job, honestly.
About it is, I'm laid off Thursday.
He laid his ass off, y'all.
Like, I'm supposed to be saving.
How do you be laid off
Well,
Spider-Man don't even get paid.
nobody's going outside.
Spider-Man don't get paid.
Nobody fucking, that's volunteer work.
Yeah, because
Spider-Man, he got to make his own suit.
Right.
Batman, he just throw his shit away, get a new one.
Batman sponsors his own shit. He's already rich, so he sponsors himself.
He gets his shit for free.
I just feel bad for Spider-Man because Spider-Man's so broke, bro.
Hell, even Black Panther, his stuff is.
He got a whole country.
Yeah, he's a king.
He's a whole ass king, but Spider-Man, that motherfucker is broke.
Well, Spider-Man, he ends up getting his own bad bitch in later comics.
Did the bad bitch pay for his apartment?
She sucks his dick.
Okay. He is wealthy in mouth.
But
He's what?
in different timelines, Peter Parker do end up becoming rich.
That's cool.
Just not right now.
For real, that's pretty cool. I want to see something.
That don't happen often. We've been playing Spider-Man on the
I will say,
PlayStation,
if
and that
it's fucking
motherfucker
Tony
lost his
Stark,
apartment.
I'll believe it, but I don't know.
It was what?
Is that related?
To Tony Stark? So Tony Stark made him rich.
No, I'm just asking. I don't know if that's
He has the
No,
capability to make him rich.
But you want to know something funny? Tony Stark is not his Howard Stark's real son. He was made by aliens.
That doesn't even sound right, but I'm cool.
But you gotta remember, they took his genetics and made him into a perfect being because Howard Stark had a son beforehand that ended up being quadriplegic, like everything for the neck down.
Tony is perfect. He is perfect.
I'm about to say, Tony
He's
does
not
seem
really
like
perfect.
Yes,
He's
he
an alcoholic.
is.
Yeah.
He's
Playboy
perfect.
Financiers.
It's the fact that he
Arrogant.
can literally
To me,
do
that's
anything
perfect.
and he knows it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's perfect.
If you take away the arrogance, he's perfect.
Not really.
He's like that Valkyrie who downed that alcohol in Ragnarok. What the fuck is her name? Played
I
by
forgot her, yeah.
played by Homegirl.
You know she's a lesbian, right?
Probably.
I don't even know where the smile came from. It won't go away. She's a lesbian?
Yeah.
Is that why she plays such strong women roles? I'm just kidding.
She's the first gay Marvel character.
Wait, as the Valkyrie? As that head Valkyrie bitch?
Yes.
They did not insinuate nor imply that she was gay.
But then
They implied she was alcoholic, which is, I'm just kidding.
You know what
That's
that's
Oh
just
you know what that's implying?
What,
Yeah,
bitch?
they gotta say about Valkyrie was alive.
But if you are a lesbian, she ain't a fucking lesbian.
Hey,
For a second, I was like, oh my God. I think it was the alcohol that just clouded my
The first
judgment.
gay character in DC was the gay dude from Endgame's Part 2 when Captain America was having his whole meeting with 5 years later.
This that shit I'm talking about. Like people be like so scared to incorporate like gay culture into like pop culture and other shit like that. And I'm just kind of like,
Now Disney Channel got a whole gay kid.
well, I'm talking about like in old, like these days, it's like all becoming a norm and it's like, yes, and power to the people and shit like that. But gay motherfuckers and references and influences have been around for
Ever.
years.
Since the Romans.
Same with like same thoughts, all y'all like, oh my God, I'm peeing with a transgender next to me. They've been peeing next to you for a very long time, pal. It just hadn't been announced.
what if I never be next to anyone?
Then you should just be traumatized that you're now peeing next to someone.
But I'm not. That's the thing.
But you're only traumatized. That screams phobia.
I don't get on this
I don't know. How is it a phobia if I go to the bathroom and nobody's in there? That's like.
But then it's a problem when you're.
That's scary movie status.
Well, that's why I was saying then you're traumatized because you're peeing next to somebody in general. But then you're saying no, which brings us back to the point of peeing next to a transgender person.
And this whole segment was sponsored by Wash Your Hands
What you said.
because if you can't wash your
Speaking of which,
hands, you catch
this
the
is relevant
coronavirus.
too. Did your cousin ever see that?
Don't forget to
story
say happy
2
birthday
months ago
twice.
about Rosario Dawson?
What?
Tell us.
Well, she basically came out as bi, and she was right. Remember, she called that shit, but it's actually true as fuck.
Chanel, if you listen to this, I guess you do have a chance, bitch.
I meant to hit you up with that, but
Okay.
she said she'd been that for
Who's
like
this?
years.
But let me tell you something.
Who is
Chanel,
she talking about?
Chanel,
Who is she talking about?
hold on. We're talking about Rosario Dawson, which is Chanel's biggest
I was
like
reading it at work, like
crush, like for years and years and years,
she said
and
it's
for
been
the
for years and
longest,
years and years.
like homegirl who's her best friend is gay, so Chanel just was always like, I know she's gay, she's gotta be gay, and just
and
kind
she
of like,
was the whole time.
you know, Chanel, we just won't know until she says. And it turns out, I mean, that's usually how it is when people come out. So
Yeah.
if it has anything to do with Rosario, Chanel found out.
I better say, I think she knew. when-
Chanel probably did
I just
research
meant to-
and investigated and found out
I just
right
meant to
before
ask you if Chanel knew about this.
I don't know, but I'm gonna text her.
Yeah. This was a long time ago. For
She's
real.
so busy now, so she can't become a creep. So it's okay. I'm
But
okay
I
with
would
her
say
knowing
it
this.
was a Yahoo article, so it was just on that bitch one day.
Got you. Yeah. Sorry, Chanel. You're busy being an essential worker and shit like that, so you don't have time to go stalk her and do creep
It
shit.
just popped up one day. I'm like, Chanel. So I gotta see if you saw it.
I didn't see it. but
Okay.
Now I'm gonna go talk to her ass. So I decided to go over by 2 minutes because I started a little bit late, but we gonna wrap this shit up.
Are we?
Yes, Jonathan. That's what that meant. Okay, starting with you, bitch. Tell the audience where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at _Duchess1, because I'm the only Duchess of Louisville, Kentucky.
You better.
And you can also follow
think
me
you
on
did.
Facebook at Jonathan Selfmade Morel.
Yeah.
And also you can follow me on Twitter at Frozen Hearts for all your best financial and gay porn finesse lifestyles.
Everything, bro.
Follow me on Instagram for investment. Follow me on Twitter for gay porn. Follow me on Facebook to get good comedy.
He has a diverse,
I love it.
Content.
But I have a problem with the Twitter handle. Jonathan's heart is not that frozen.
Actually, it is.
It's more
I
like
gave up on love.
it's more like
The Twitter has it.
you know how like Halo Top ice cream kind of starts to melt.
Yeah.
It's that in between phase. So he's
That's
in
what he
between
is.
frozen, in between.
He's not really frozen, but it's like he's still good.
I'm not finding love no time soon.
Well, you have to unfreeze your heart for that to happen.
It's not.
Just leave it out for
Leave
like
me alone, Anna. Let me be Elsa. Let me be frozen.
Just thaw out your heart in the microwave
No.
for 30 seconds.
It'll take more than 30 seconds to melt my
Run it
heart.
under cold water. That's the safe way.
water.
No, it has to be cold. That's the safe way to do it.
The hot water's better.
No, it's because your heart. This ain't no pack of meat.
Anyway, let my heart be frozen.
let that shit freeze, man.
I can't because summer's coming.
That's a bitch on the door.
I'm the realest ever see snake. Act up, you can get snatched.
With the I'm invincible, diamond said invisible. That ain't been the truth. Want me to be miserable, but I can never miss her. I'ma let my hip tuck. Put a 40 in it, you got it, yeah. And the CEE do what I do, you.
Hey. So we got Shanti. Right. We got Shanti just came in. Go get your face slayed by Shanti. Slayed. Not Slade. Slayed. 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 Featuring the pizza on her shirt.
What up, bitches?
Oh my God. Why she come so hard? Why she come so hard on the track? Let's run it back. Let's run it back.
I'm not so bad. Keep going.
Let's run that shit back.
I'm a little scared of myself.
So we was just wrapping up, so that sucks.
No, I'm always late. No, y'all have a good night.
They always come in time for the what's up, bitches? Like hard as fuck on the mic.
Comes on time.
Well, Shanti, go ahead and plug yourself.
Okay, so you can follow me at Shanti Dowway on Instagram. That is Shanti with 2 eyes, not 1 eye. So get in your eye. No, I'm just like, I don't know. I really don't. That was awful.
You ever choke on Jack Daniels?
And I feel like it's super 25.
25. Y'all better get on that before inflation hit, bitch.
This is trying to list 180.
Right, y'all better get on. It's just cause that's just cause they a startup. But once they not a startup, that shit's going up. So make sure y'all look at it.
Cute little rug.
I know, I wish it was bigger.
On my corner, but you know, okay.
This is all temporary to include these childish ass bean bags. When I got them, I thought they were for adults, but then Danny pointed out, well, first Jonathan was the first to point out these are not fat people friendly, and I was like, yeah, my coworker sat in them. Yeah, no, I respect it, And then Danny came in the last show and was like, bitch, I think these are for children. And I was like, oh my God.
They are for children.
Yeah, these are for children. So, sorry.
It's okay. Hey,
I tried to make a cute, because as soon as we got Wi-Fi, I was like, fuck it. Shit was coming off all the shelves. I was like, I'm using this place. But yes, thank you for that. Right, Anthony, it's COVID out here. No, we're using cups. There's another glass. There's another glass though.
In the back.
The wine glass I've been using. So yes, squad. I got like 3 or 4 squadron with me. I'm very excited. We're gonna go see the other one after this. Yeah, we're gonna roll up on that bitch and tell her to meet us at Insomnia Cookies before they go into work. Yes.
The Kentucky Blue class.
The Kentucky Blue. Anthony, go ahead and plug yourself.
For the 6th time today. Well, Anthony, he don't plug. Anthony don't get plugged.
I don't know what Anthony does.
He doesn't plug.
Ooh, what was that?
Oh, that was cute. But nobody knows what the fuck that was.
I've been talking about Twitch sex.
Okay, back to Anthony. Go ahead, Anthony.
Okay. Well, you can find me on Instagram. I don't know, I guess. IONO_IGUE.
You're drunk. You said understore.
Actually, I didn't.
Yes, you did. I had the headphones on.
Look, he's in school.
He might have said, I used the C.
Maybe I'm drunk.
I said phonetically.
He said what he said.
I said what I said, and you heard what you heard. As in, I heard what I heard, but you said what you said.
If you don't plug
Which is now I don't know what the word is.
Filling in the blanks with extra shit. Anyway, go ahead.
Don't extra shit me. What's the real word now? I don't know it now.
What word for what?
Underscore. Well, I kept telling myself, no, it was understore.
Yeah, you said store. He said store.
He said store.
Look. Children.
That's what I'm saying. You heard me, and I know what I said.
Why are they answering my face is dancing?
Yeah, you missed twerk time, bitch.
But going based off sound alone, it would sound the same. So I see what you mean. But if you looked at my mouth, score came out.
I was ready to agree to disagree. Like you said what you said, and I heard what I heard. That's what I was saying. Like we. Why did you hit my GoPro?
You know it can withstand. It can withstand it though. Cause you know like dirt bikes and shit behind it. I just want to see what it looked like if you did it.
All right.
Last video.
So thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Mirror Show. We went over a little bit for your entertainment and for the fact that I started a little bit late. You can find me at the one Amira Show, because it's the only one that matters. One more time for the people that did not hear me in the back, at the one Amira Show, because it's the only one that matters. You can find more content at www.theamirshow.com. Hit me up. Show next Friday. I will be posting on Instagram, so make sure y'all check that shit out. We have nothing else. This is good. Good show for the 1st of May. May is month of masturbation, so make sure y'all get crazy with it.
I ain't masturbated yet. That's probably my way.
Yeah, well, it's the first month, National Masturbation Month.
You know how much is masturbation? I mean, November, that's about masturbation.
All right, y'all. It's all love. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Yeah, y'all gotta say bye. What are you doing? Everyone say, hold that up for Shanti too. Everyone say bye-bye.
Fuck y'all bitches.
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of a bye-bye.
No, he didn't mean it. We love y'all. Bye.
Love y'all bitches.
Well, still love you.
Still love you.
Bye.
Stop dropping my mic.
Bye-bye.